The latest news from Oak Island has shocked treasure hunters and history enthusiasts alike. After decades of digging, speculation, and relentless pursuit, Rick Lagina has reportedly ended the Oak Island hunt with a deal that has stunned everyone. The story isn't about him walking away empty-handed. Insiders say Rick didn't just leave. He closed accounts, paid out millions to his crew, and ensured that years of labor were rewarded beyond anyone's expectations. This was not a publicized celebration, and no announcements were made. Everything happened quietly, with precision, and with secrecy surrounding what was discovered. For decades, Oak Island has been a place of mystery. Generations of explorers have tried to uncover its secrets, many facing danger, frustration, and financial ruin. The island has always promised more than it has delivered. But now, after years of work, the nature of the discovery has shifted the narrative entirely. People are no longer asking how much gold was found. Instead, the question is, what was really found? Whispers point to something ancient, something far more significant than mere coins or jewels. Some believe it was an artifact of historical importance, something connected to civilizations or groups that vanished long ago. Others suggest federal authorities are now involved, investigating a secret transaction that the public may never fully understand. Rick Lagina's silence has only fueled speculation. There were no speeches, no celebrations, no public declarations. Instead, there was a calm, measured approach from a man who may have finally completed his mission while leaving secrets buried deep beneath Oak Island. The secrecy raises questions. Why was this discovery handled with such care? What is too dangerous for the public to know? And what exactly did Rick find that led to this unprecedented deal? The deal itself was astonishing. While exact numbers remain unconfirmed, reports suggest that millions of dollars were quietly distributed to Rick's core team. Marty Lagina, Charles Barkhouse, Emma Culligan, Scott Barlow, and others were compensated for their decades of effort. It wasn't simply recognition or reward. Some speculate that the payments may have been linked to the sensitive nature of the discovery. What Rick found might not have been gold at all, but something whose value and importance could not be measured in money alone. The internet exploded once news of the deal leaked. Fans debated endlessly. Some believed Rick had sold treasure and simply rewarded his team. Others argued that the true discovery was never meant to be revealed, hidden away from public knowledge forever. Headlines around the world labeled the deal as one of the biggest historical transactions in recent memory. Journalists flocked to Oak Island, hoping for statements, answers, and evidence, but Rick never appeared publicly. Marty offered only a cryptic line, "Everything happens for a reason." That single phrase became a spark for countless theories and debates. Was Rick under pressure? Was he forced into secrecy? Or did he choose it to protect the world from knowledge too powerful for public eyes? Fans revisited old episodes and interviews searching for clues. One quote resurfaced repeatedly. Rick had once said, "What we found goes beyond gold." Suddenly, a new understanding emerged. Perhaps the discovery wasn't about wealth at all. Perhaps it was an artifact or object of immense historical or spiritual significance. Reddit and social media forums filled with speculation. Discussions ranged from Templar connections to ancient manuscripts, even to ideas that could rewrite what we know about history. Oak Island had transformed from a treasure hunt into a global enigma. The story of that fateful morning at the garden shaft is particularly striking. Machines roared, mist hung in the air, and the team pushed deeper than ever before. Suddenly, the drill's noise shifted. The monitor flickered, and what appeared on the screen stunned everyone. Buried in the mud and water was a metal container. Its form was unusual, deliberately made, and seemingly untouched for centuries. The discovery was profound. Rick immediately ordered operations to halt. He gathered his team, and for a moment the silence was overwhelming. The magnitude of what they had uncovered was evident. It wasn't treasure in the ordinary sense. It carried a weight that felt historic and monumental. As the team carefully cleared the mud and water, strange symbols appeared on the container's surface. Markings no one could recognize, etched with precision, created an air of mystery and significance. A crane was brought in, chains attached, and slowly the container was lifted. Water poured away, yet the object retained a faint glow. Rick and Marty stood motionless, understanding the gravity of the moment. When Rick touched the metal, he remarked, "Then it may be worth far more," suggesting its value extended far beyond monetary terms. From that moment, Oak Island changed forever. What was unearthed felt like a message or warning, not merely
treasure. Later that night, a private deal was finalized. Documents were signed, and the container was quietly removed from the island under heavy security. The crew was not present, and no announcements were made. Rumors of the deal's value ranged from $40 million to $70 million, and the buyer was described as a billionaire with a deep interest in rare artifacts. The secrecy surrounding this transaction fueled even more questions. Why was such care taken? What was so significant that it could not be publicly disclosed? The mystery deepened. The distribution of funds to Rick's team was clear. While millions changed hands, the emotional and psychological impact of the discovery overshadowed monetary rewards. Some crew members felt gratitude, others unease. Emma Culligan admitted privately that while the payments were generous, the true loss was the knowledge that the discovery would not be revealed. Charles Barkhouse expressed outrage, arguing that decades of effort had been spent in pursuit of truth, and now it was hidden away. The tension among the team highlighted a fundamental dilemma: the line between reward, secrecy, and moral responsibility. Oak Island itself was no longer just a site for treasure hunting. It became a place of high stakes, secrecy, and tension. Armed guards appeared, black SUVs patrolled the island, and advanced scanning equipment, radiation detectors, and highly specialized containment units were brought in. Government agents and academic historians monitored the site, enforcing strict protocols. The team was warned to stay away from the location where the artifact had been found. The presence of such high-level oversight suggested that the discovery was far more significant than ordinary treasure. The artifact itself baffled researchers. Its composition was not gold, copper, or any known metal. The material resisted immediate identification. Symbols etched on its surface bore resemblance to medieval European iconography, specifically those linked to the Knights Templar. A cross enclosed in a triangle surrounded by a circular seal matched symbols on known Templar relics. If accurate, the discovery could rewrite centuries of history, connecting Oak Island to a secretive and powerful organization that vanished mysteriously in Europe. Rick's refusal to name or classify the artifact only fueled speculation. Scholars and fans speculated endlessly. Was it the Holy Grail, lost manuscripts, evidence that could change the course of history? The object became known as the hidden artifact, sparking debates about its purpose and significance. Some suggested it was a power source, others a religious relic, and still others a machine or key to an even deeper secret. Days after the deal, the silence surrounding Oak Island was deafening. Rick Lagina remained almost invisible, appearing rarely and speaking little. The crew tried to maintain normal routines, but the atmosphere had shifted. The island that once echoed with excitement, hope, and the hum of excavation machines now felt like a guarded fortress. Cameras recorded, but the footage felt empty. The thrill of discovery had been replaced with questions and unease. Everyone understood that something monumental had been taken away, something far beyond ordinary treasure, and the world might never know what it truly was. Rumors spread like wildfire. Some suggested the container held documents or objects that could rewrite history, possibly evidence of the Knights Templar in North America. Others believed it contained an ancient artifact tied to a civilization that predated European contact with the Americas. There were whispers about technology that seemed advanced for its time, something that could challenge our understanding of history. Every theory, no matter how extreme, found believers. The internet became a battlefield of speculation. Reddit threads, YouTube comments, and Twitter debates consumed fans. Some argued that Rick made the right decision, protecting the world from knowledge it wasn't ready to handle. Others accused him of hiding history for profit. No one knew the truth,
and that uncertainty made the story even more compelling. While the public speculated, government involvement intensified. Unmarked black SUVs patrolled the island day and night. Advanced scanning equipment, radiation detectors, and highly specialized containment units were brought in. Academic historians and scientists were flown in to study the site, but they were only allowed access under strict supervision. Even the crew, the people who had spent decades uncovering Oak Island's secrets, were restricted from approaching the most critical areas. Rick's private discussions with officials remained off-camera, fueling further intrigue. Every movement was deliberate.
Every action calculated. The weight of responsibility was clear to everyone present. This was no longer about treasure, fame, or TV episodes. This was about safeguarding something potentially powerful and dangerous. Speculation about the artifact grew. Its material was unusual, not matching any known metal or alloy. It was heavy, durable, and showed signs of intentional craftsmanship. The symbols etched across its surface drew particular attention. They matched medieval European designs associated with the Knights Templar, including crosses, triangles, and circular seals. Experts debated the meaning of these symbols, suggesting that the object could be part of a larger system, perhaps a key or map to a hidden vault beneath Oak Island. Some believed the artifact might have been the center of a mechanism that could reveal even deeper chambers, untouched for centuries. Theories circulated that the artifact alone could have changed historical narratives, revealing secrets the world had never expected. As the team tried to process what had happened, the personal impact became evident. Emma Culligan, who had been part of the crew for years, admitted that the deal felt like both a reward and a loss. Millions had been paid to the team, but what had been uncovered was gone. The emotional toll was heavy. Charles Barkhouse was openly frustrated, insisting that decades of work had been spent searching for the truth, and now it was removed from their reach. Scott Barlow described the emptiness left behind as tangible, the imprint of the artifact still visible in the mud where it had rested for centuries. Rick Lagina tried to keep the peace, but the division within the team was clear. Some sided with Rick, understanding the need for discretion, while others felt betrayed, believing the mission had lost its purpose. Rick himself remained silent, burdened by the responsibility of what he had discovered. His calm demeanor hid the gravity of the situation. When he did speak, his words were measured and cautious, never revealing more than necessary. "What we found," he said in one statement, "was probably not meant for the world." That single line created shockwaves online. Fans and historians alike debated endlessly. Was Rick protecting humanity from knowledge too dangerous, or had he hidden something valuable purely for himself? The ambiguity fueled endless theories, each more speculative than the last. Weeks after the initial discovery, leaked documents and anonymous sources reignited discussions. One leak suggested that the artifact was not just a container, but a key designed to unlock a deeper chamber buried nearly 200 feet beneath Oak Island. According to these unverified documents, the markings on the metal object were functional, not decorative. The object may have been part of a mechanism left intentionally by those who had hidden it centuries ago. This revelation shifted theories. Perhaps what Rick removed from Oak Island was not the treasure itself, but the first step to a much larger secret, a vault still hidden beneath the island, waiting for those who understood its purpose. Online communities exploded with speculation about what could lie beneath. Some suggested a Templar vault filled with ancient manuscripts, artifacts, or religious relics. Others imagined a chamber containing technology far ahead of its time, perhaps left behind by advanced civilizations unknown to history. Satellite images, old maps, and decades of Oak Island records were revisited. Every clue, every scrap of evidence was analyzed in the hope of predicting the contents or location of the next hidden chamber. The theories multiplied daily, and yet no definitive answers emerged. The psychological impact on the team was profound. For decades, they had believed that Oak Island held the ultimate treasure, that all of their work would culminate in a moment of revelation. Instead, they faced a reality in which their discovery had been removed from their hands.
Gratitude for the multi-million-dollar payments coexisted with a sense of loss and unfinished business. The tension among the crew reflected a deeper conflict, the balance between protecting dangerous knowledge and fulfilling a lifetime of exploration. The wider world reacted too. Historians, archaeologists, and even governments weighed in, speculating on the artifact's significance. Some suggested the object could rewrite history, altering what is known about the Templars, early exploration of North America, or even global religious history. Scholars debated whether Rick's actions were moral, ethical, or necessary. Some argued he had made the responsible choice by removing the artifact from public access. Others claimed he
had denied humanity a chance to uncover a historical truth of immense importance. The debate, heated and passionate, continues to this day. Rick Lagina's decision had far-reaching consequences. Oak Island became more than just a site for treasure hunting. It transformed into a symbol of mystery, secrecy, and responsibility. The island that had been a stage for decades of exploration was now a place of questions with no clear answers. Security measures, government oversight, and secrecy protocols ensured that the artifact's true nature might never be publicly known. Oak Island had evolved from a treasure site into a cautionary tale about discovery, power, and the limits of human understanding. As the days passed, Oak Island remained a place of tension and unanswered questions. The multi-million-dollar deal had changed everything. The artifact, whatever it truly was gone, and the team had to adjust to this new reality. The island no longer felt like a treasure hunt. It had become a complex puzzle, a place where history, secrecy, and responsibility intersected. Machines lay idle, scanners stood silent, and the crew's energy shifted from excitement to contemplation. Every corner of the island now felt heavy with anticipation, as if the land itself held the knowledge of what had just been removed. Fans and experts around the world speculated endlessly. If the artifact had been a key, what exactly did it unlock? Could there still be chambers beneath the island that no one had yet seen? Was there a second, even deeper vault containing knowledge, objects, or relics far more significant than gold? The idea was both thrilling and frightening. Decades of excavation had uncovered clues pointing to multiple underground chambers, complex traps, and engineered systems beneath the surface. Modern technology and old maps had aligned to reveal patterns that no previous team could fully understand. Now, with the key removed, many believed the true treasure, or the most important secret, remained hidden. Theories about the artifact's origins were as varied as they were mysterious. Many believed it was connected to the Knights Templar. Symbols etched into the metal resembled designs seen on Templar relics throughout Europe. Some suggested the artifact could contain information that had been deliberately hidden to protect powerful knowledge, perhaps about advanced navigation, undiscovered lands, or religious secrets. Others speculated that the object had belonged to a secretive organization centuries old that had hidden it on Oak Island to ensure it remained protected from those who would misuse it. With no way to examine the artifact publicly, every theory gained momentum. While speculation raged online, the team on the island faced its own challenges. Trust had shifted among the crew. Some members supported Rick's decision, understanding that the artifact could be dangerous if mishandled or revealed too soon. Others felt a deep sense of betrayal, believing their decades of effort had been undermined. Arguments erupted over decisions, priorities, and the future of the dig. Rick Lagina worked tirelessly to keep the crew focused, reminding them that the mission was not over, even if their direct access to the artifact had ended. Yet the tension lingered. Cameras captured a somber reality. Oak Island had become a place of secrecy, vigilance, and reflection. Government and academic involvement added another layer of complexity. Unfamiliar personnel arrived on the island regularly, conducting inspections, scans, and studies. Black SUVs, armed security, and restricted zones made it clear that this was no longer just a private exploration. According to insiders, the artifact was being studied under strict supervision, and its contents or true nature would not be publicly known.
Even historical experts and scholars involved in examining the artifact were bound by confidentiality agreements. Every step was carefully documented, measured, and analyzed, but little of that information reached the public. This level of control fueled speculation further, suggesting that the artifact was not just historically valuable, but potentially significant in other, unknown ways. Some theorists proposed that Oak Island contained a system designed to protect knowledge rather than wealth. Decades of digging had revealed complex flood traps, false tunnels, and stone-lined chambers. Density mapping had indicated areas far heavier than normal soil, implying the presence of metal or other dense objects. The upper chambers had been accessible for decades, but experts believed they were only the entry to something much deeper. If the artifact removed by Rick was indeed a key, it could unlock these hidden chambers, potentially revealing information or objects of immense historical importance. The mystery of the island deepened, and the possibility of uncovering secrets that could challenge established history captivated enthusiasts worldwide. The emotional weight on the crew cannot be understated. For decades, their lives had been intertwined with Oak Island. Families, friendships, and trust had been built through shared discovery and hardship. Now the removal of the artifact had left a void. Crew members who had once celebrated breakthroughs together now navigated a complex mix of pride, frustration, and sorrow. Emma Culligan reflected on the experience, noting that while the financial reward was significant, the loss of the artifact was harder to process. Charles Barkhouse echoed this sentiment, emphasizing that some treasures are measured not in money, but in the knowledge and history they represent. The psychological challenge of reconciling decades of effort with this abrupt conclusion left a lasting mark on everyone involved. Meanwhile, fans and amateur sleuths continued to examine every piece of information available. Old maps were digitized, past drill logs were analyzed, and decades of footage were studied frame by frame. Every detail, from unexplained metal signals to irregular stone formations, was dissected. Theories ranged from the plausible to the fantastical. Some believed the remaining chambers could contain ancient texts, secret technology, or evidence of civilizations that had crossed the Atlantic long before recorded history. Others suggested that Oak Island might hold a symbolic message or warning left by those who had originally concealed the artifact. The idea that history itself was layered beneath the island, waiting to be discovered in stages, fascinated millions around the world. The leaked documents that surfaced weeks after the deal added another layer of intrigue. According to these reports, the artifact had been a trigger, part of a locking mechanism protecting a chamber buried nearly 200 feet underground. The symbols etched on the metal were functional, designed to operate the mechanism. If the reports were accurate, Rick's removal of the artifact effectively paused access to the chamber indefinitely. This revelation reframed the entire mission. What had been thought of as the final discovery was perhaps only the first step in a larger, more complex puzzle. The idea that a hidden vault might still exist beneath Oak Island reignited debates, theories, and speculation among historians, researchers, and fans alike. Even without the artifact on the island, Oak Island's legacy continued to grow. It became a symbol of human curiosity, perseverance, and the tension between discovery and responsibility. The decades-long search had revealed insights into engineering, history, and human determination. The combination of historical research, modern technology, and careful excavation had transformed Oak Island into a place where science, mystery, and legend converged. While the public might never see the artifact, the lessons of the island, the risks, the dedication, and the unanswered questions remained a source of fascination and inspiration. As weeks turned into months, Oak Island remained quiet, yet the energy around it never diminished. Fans, historians, and treasure hunters watched every move from afar, dissecting every clue, image, and report that emerged. The removal of the artifact had changed the island forever. What was once a site of excitement and hope had transformed into a symbol of mystery and secrecy. The idea that the artifact might have been a key to a deeper chamber fueled countless theories. If true, it meant that Rick Lagina's multi-million-dollar deal was not an ending, but a pause in a story that stretched back centuries. Every piece of evidence, every drill log, and every historical map was suddenly more valuable than ever, hinting at secrets yet to be revealed. The mystery of Oak Island had always been about more than treasure. The Money Pit, the North Swamp, and other locations had all revealed